Apparently, I just got Avowed Premium Edition. uh, Thank you, Game Pass, I guess. I don't know. Thank you for your purchase. You can change companion outfits at the main camp tent in Party Camp. The Obsidian and Eora armor sets are accessible via the party stash at Party Camp. I mean, I didn't buy it, but I ain't gonna say no, I guess. And especially if the premium is just outfits. You know, I'm guessing it's not purely cosmetic because there's armor sets as well. Which I'm guessing give bonuses, but you know, find me stuff. Nothing to report. The hell, that thing was breakable too. Anyway, nothing over here. Is that sarcastic or actual? The government district. Well, I'm guessing it is actually safe around here. The dang government is here. I mean, if the government district is not safe, then
something nearby. These have been boarded up since the lockdown started. Nice place for thieves to hide out.
how exactly? There you go. What do we got in here? 24 bucks, a branch iron belt, and a common grimoire of the elements. No, I could have been a magic user. I mean, nothing stopping me, I still could be, I guess. Right. Turns out, can't really trust a sheet of paper to hold your entire body weight. And sorry, it's not paper. We have Claviger Eamon's estate.
And here's where the rats live. Reasonable rent if you can get it.
There are a lot of rats. Right in front of the Claviger's house too.
One moment.
Alright, Mr. Clad, there's a dead person inside his estate. And a backpack. Some money on a branch. Well, it's a nice branch. Oh, yeah.
No one lives there at the moment. I guess the Clavinger didn't like having neighbors.
Interesting. And someone has looted the Claviger's estate. Well, I mean, the Claviger is dead, so I guess, you know. I guess they took that opportunity.
Well, that didn't take long.
Yeah. Are these the guards that they killed, or Ooh, cool looking garden? Guess the thieves didn't get here. Metal bracers. Ability cast speed. Metal bracers protect the arms from weapon blows and animal bites, making them popular among the rangers of Emerald Stair. Earning one's bracers is considered a rite of passage, symbolizing those who defend the living lands must first defend themselves. Alright. Right. Little back area cleared out. Yep. Street of the Gods.
Damn rickety table.
Huh?
No envoy. Go right on through.
I am indeed the envoy. I am here on official business, you see. Hello? Bandits. No matter. Iverman Bruiser. Missed my shot.
Where's my mark? Hold on.
That guy took a bullet. Alright, guy, we got one last person there. Marius has dealt with him. Common bow and meat. No, he's not been dealt with. Finding and an essence potion. And hide. He's a barbarian. Taking some shots, man.
Next one's mine.
Oh,
Everybody all right?
yeah, we're fine. I just need some food. Nothing that good, but like something. Be like a. How about a cheese wheel? And I've eaten some raw food apparently. Do that. I had a grenade on him. Oh wow, a health potion on the dinner table. Nice. Gin?
Once I got drunk and lost back here looking for the chamber pot. Aiming through the best part.
We got Clavicus Journal first entry. Aedyr has kindly offered to set up an embassy in Paradise. By kindly, I mean they landed on our shores without notice, and by offered, I mean their soldiers occupied a building in town, keeping an eye on these developments. Just let them in, I guess you didn't really have a choice. Open confrontation with the Empire is going to get you killed. Justifiably so. Nobody ate the trout pie? Come on, bandits. What do we have here? Common abacus? Just a whole load of weapons. What happened to the guards? I'm thinking the guards are the ones who attacked. Clan path and customs. Clan path and customs can seem primitive and unsophisticated to some, but all customs begin with a ritual or superstition, so why should theirs be considered less than any others? If they are examined closely, clan path and celebrations stem from a deep and rich culture that all tie into their history in a significant way. The festival of the ancients. The festival of the ancients takes place during spring dawn and is a time to celebrate the grandfathers settling in Ear Glanpath. It is a simple 3 day ceremony that is mostly centered on feasts. Their feasts are set up around the ruins scattered throughout Ear Glanpath. Wreaths made from tree branches and flowers are placed at the ruins and prayers are said to the gods, thanking them for health and prosperity. The cleansing. The cleansing started as a protest, recreating the hardships brought upon the grandfathers by the Aedyrian colonists when they started settling in the Deerwood. It has morphed over the years and is now used more as a game mixed with a teaching tool to inform your grandfathers about the history of their people. The cleansing takes place on New Year and Mid Year and now acts as a metaphor for real events instead of a recreation of the events themselves. Zorab effigies are placed throughout the forest, hollow clay shells filled with sweets and gifts. The children then search the woods for the effigies and destroy them, cleansing the forest so they grandfathers can move in and occupy the areas. After the area has been cleared, they gather for a celebration and feast where the elders tell the young members the true story of their people's history. Holiday of the Black Tree, a combination of a day of remembrance and celebratory feast. The Holiday of the Black Tree is held on the second day of autumn falling when the trees are still colorful but losing their leaves and the land is becoming cold and dark. Grandfathers use the day to tell the story of the War of the Black Trees and remember those who were lost. During the morning, the adults hang elaborate garlands from the tree branches. The garlands are made from red, orange, and yellow flowers that represent the flames that swept through the forest of Ear Gland path, destroying everything in their path. After a morning of fasting and reflection, the children are set to run through the trees, tearing down the garlands and bring them back to the feast, decorating the tables with piled flowers, turning the horror of war into something beautiful. Then they eat, cheering the peace that they now have with the Deerwoodian people and toast to many more years of peace to come. Also of note in Glanfathan culture is their abundance of traveling customs. Being a semi-nomadic people, they practice customs to ensure their safety while on the move. Traveling customs. If you are taking a quick trip, purchase a gift for someone you are visiting and leave it at your home. If something important is left undone, such as giving a gift to a loved one, you will always return to finish the task. If you are taking a longer trip, leave remembrances of your trip, no matter how well you know the road. Drop some pebbles along the way or tie a ribbon to the tree branches. Mark your path away and you will always have a safe and easy trip back. Evil spirits and dangerous creatures are everywhere in our world. If you decorate your cart with masks, they will scare away any danger that might otherwise approach. But you must decorate your cart anew every time or the evil won't be fooled by your rules. Grandfather and customs. Florian rice wine. Fruitful wine. Claviger Estate Key. Key was found in the late Claviger's estate. Claviger's journal second entry. Ambassador Hildegard promises that all he wants is a diplomatic relationship with the living lands, but Ambassador Ludwin, she wants a gallows, public executions, and secret interrogations. I don't know what to make of our new guests. Some days I feel like a stranger in my own
I'm
city.
starting to see why Amond was going gray all of a sudden.
Stress. Lots and lots of stress. The Saints' War Part 1 Overthrow. There is much debate with historians as to when the Saints' War really began. It is widely accepted that the events that instigated it was the sanctuary flight of Reedkian citizens to the Deerwood. This led to a direct strife between the two nations that escalated into battle, the Saints' War. But it is the author's opinion that the war truly started many years before. After the miracle of the verdant Vorlas, as it came to be known, Waidwen quickly gathered followers drawn to the stories of Eothas' miraculous power. His power grew. Eventually, Waidwen had gained enough support that he confronted the imperial governor. Assisted by a collection of knights and nobles who had been swayed to his cause, he marched on the capital city. The governor was allowed to live, but was forced to abdicate power and leave the colony. This was not from any understanding or easy acquiescence from the governor, but because of what happened when Waidwen entered the governor's palace. As Waidwen approached the governor, according to accounts, his body turned into something that was no longer human. His flesh became luminescent, and his head transformed into pure blinding light. Other accounts suggest that Waidwen had become a being of light at an earlier time, when he was whipped in the public square. The outcome of his visit to the palace, however, is uncontested. The governor, knowing there was no way he could oppose an avatar of Eotus, relinquished his power. The people then asked Waidwen to lead the colony. He accepted, earning him the name Divine King of Reedkias. Waidwin's rule was virtually uncontested. Initially, this was because everyone was awed that a god had chosen to manifest themselves and lead his people. This changed as Waidwin began punishing the allies of the old empire and then at the poison of the world, what he considered corrupt churches or church leaders of Eothas. Scrutiny escalated, and soon worshippers of Eothas were also being punished for mere perceptions of heresy. Members of other religions were also added to the list of the persecuted, following different faiths. This caused large segments of the population to flee Reedkias for the Deerwood, begging for sanctuary. This caused strife between the two nations. The people of the Deerwood knew that they could not sustain explosive population growth if Waidwin's rule were to continue unchecked. They also feared that his eye would turn from Reedkias on and land on them next if nothing was done. This was exactly what ultimately happened. An open war broke out as Waidwin moved to spread his dominance into the lands of Deerwood. Invasion. Waidwin personally led many of the battles during the war, exhibiting extraordinary supernatural powers. He seemed virtually untouchable on the battlefield, able to burn or even disintegrate his enemies with beams of blinding white light. With a god on his side and possibly, as some said, inhabiting him, he was thought to be indestructible. It appeared that he may have been until the Battle of Halgod Citadel. The people of the Deerwood knew they would lose the war if they could not at least slow Waidwin down. Engineers, priests of Megrin, and a few others working in secret, some say with Megrin's direct help, developed a weapon that they hoped would be able to stop a god. 12 feet in diameter and filled with a variety of chemical and magical explosives, the bomb was rolled under Evan Bridge. Part of the foundation was excavated in order to allow them to embed the bomb in the bridge itself, ensuring its total concealment. 12 Dravidian men and women volunteered to stage an ambush at the bridge to keep Waidman on it until the bomb could be detonated. The battle was short, bloody, and ultimately final. The dozen, as they came to be known, were able to delay Waidman on the bridge. The bomb detonated, killing Waidman, the 4 Dravidian volunteers still alive at the time, and over 50 Red Kyrian soldiers marching on the front line with Waidwin. It was at that moment the Saints' War ended. The remaining Red Kyrian forces were easy to rout. Even though they had more than enough men and equipment to finish the siege, their leader, previously thought invincible, had just vanished in a rain of metal and stone. Panic set in and the Dravidian troops sent them away with ease. From that point on, the bomb was known by the name Godhammer. It even worked its way into everyday conversation. As sure as Godhammer ended the Saints' War came to be a standard phrase to express unequivocal certainty. Less certain is the fate of Eothas, who has not spoken to his followers since the explosion of the bomb and is presumed by most to be dead. Lest some concerned citizens express their worry or other more industrious think they could reproduce the result, the author would put the thoughts from your head. Since that time, there has never been another documented explosion of such magnitude, and efforts to locate the engineers and clergy responsible for the bomb have been entirely fruitless. Godhammer was a unique, fortuitous occurrence. Its like will never be seen again without divine intervention. Interesting stories they got here. Okay, and then that is the next part of the estate. Is up here. So dark, man. Sausages, wine, cheese. Go higher up.
Cozy.
Dagger, an agate gem just lying next to his bed. The Mark Brew. Health potion and third entry. According to Hildegard, it is in our best interest to force the Animancers out of Paradise. Soul science offends the god and so forth. He promises security, stability, and law in exchange for this boon. When I visited the Animancers, I found them already packing equipment into wagons bound for Fior Mess Eveno. I wonder what they know that I don't. These noble rats who flee a sinking ship. Okay, bedroom and bathroom. I don't know who leaves money in the bathroom, but you know. But my big golden chest. Wide key cameo. Covers get iron chunk and plate armor. Restore 50% of your maximum health when reviving a companion. Against a scarlet backdrop, a key of purest marble has been placed, making this cameo a bold piece of jewelry. The red and white symbolize the intertwining of blood and bone, of body and soul, of wrath and peace. Wearing this amulet gives you a deeper sense of connection to the allies you fight alongside and invigorates you whenever you pull one such individual back from the brink of death's door. Final entry. There is a foulness in the wind blowing past a strangle root. Hillguard wants to assemble a small party to investigate. I have no particular reason to doubt his motives, though it is strange how many of our party will be Aedyrians. Oh. Did he kill?
Envoy, over there. Looks like enough.
Oh. Claviger's journal, secret page. Apparently there is a growing rebellion in Paradise. My own people defy the Aedyrians. They rally from the shadows and sharpen their blades in the name of independence. Good, I taught them well. I cannot openly support them, but I have my ways. Down a chain of clerks and agents I have passed a key to our cistern. The door is in the temple of Ondra, a fitting sanctuary. May they use this hideout to their advantage. I will hold on to the spare. A time may come when I have to warn the resistance or join them myself. Oh.
Well,
Cistern key.
there you have it. So, Claviger Aemon not only knew about the rebels, he also gave them access to a hideout in the cistern.
You knew the Claviger. Did you have any idea about this? Sounds like he wasn't fond of the Aedyrians either. He wrote the cistern is below the temple of Ondra. Yeah, you have any idea about this?
None. I knew he was protective of Paradise, but I never would have dreamed he'd get in bed with organized rebels. Look, everyone who settles in the Living Lands comes from somewhere, but until recently, those settlers have been people, not nations. But when Aedyr built an embassy and filled it with dignitaries and troops, some started to worry that your laws and governors would follow.
Right, all of that. Don't forget why we're here. You hired me to hunt the rebels down, and now we know where they are. The cistern beneath the Temple of Ondra. Good place for a hidden base. It's just below the city, where the people and patrols will never look.
Something tells me these rebels won't go quietly.
Maybe we should bring reinforcements. I bet Hillguard would be happy to spare some of his guards, if we ask nicely.
They'd only slow us down. Besides, any fighting we do in the cistern will be close quarters.
On to the Temple of Ondra, then. It's east of here, just across the canal, in the plaza with the big statue.
East.
Right, after you.
Enter the cistern beneath the temple of Ondra. Well, well, well. Is there anything else here? Can't believe I missed this. Alright, I mean, he was in bed with the rebels. So if they did kill him, I guess they were not wrong to do so. Butler, oh, you're the butler.
Did you kill all those bandits, Envoy?
I did.
We're still waiting to decide on a new Claviger. I suppose someone will have to clean this mess up before then.
Yep, that's you.
Apparently, the Aedyrians think we should have an election.
Should.
Shows what they know.
Oh, great.
This is a dangerous town, but you know how it goes. High risk, high reward.
The reward
For what
high.
it's worth, I hope you catch whoever killed you.
Will.
Is it true what they say? That the Inquisitor is some kind of monster?
Undead, yeah.
For what it's worth, I hope you catch whoever killed you.
Alright. Nothing here for me. I will destroy any breakable objects. Streets is like they're real garbage, man. So good. What's up?
Things are bound to be tense after Claviger Aemon's death.
Yeah, probably.
Don't let the walls fool you. This...
Nothing like the smell of fish and burning wood in the air.
Oh, wow. Okay, this is where I was going.
Watch yourself.
Okay. Okay. And chunk. Alright. It's another group of rebels put down.
Who's ready for more?
See what loot they had. Stuff. I'm here to maintain peace and order for Aedyr. Okay. Don't really care about you people. Not my job to care. Thank you for the health potions. I'll drink one. Just drink and drop it, huh? Been swords out in the open now. Sansa's Emporium.
We should stop by Sansa's sometime. There's nothing like it, that's for sure.
Hey, you have to check in
Oh.
with me to enter this part of the... never mind. Doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah, well, there were a bunch of rebels down there, so I don't know if you're doing your job all that well. You definitely aren't, I should say. Do love walking into things and breaking them.
Daft old woman.
Yep,
Daft old woman.
she is indeed daft.
The Aedyrans only see us as soil to feed their dying hearts.
Down with Aedyr, down with
Why
Aedyr.
should we nourish them? We have our own home, our own lives to live.
The militia doesn't do anything about it, obviously, why would they? Missiles of the Hand Occult. Dearest brother, or was it sister? May this letter find you in well spirits. A man of thuggish bearing stormed into my library the other day and demanded I help him find a book on the construction of an abacus. Archibus, I thought it proper service to Vale to steer this man towards an illuminated manuscript on the subject of whittling toy soldiers and other miniature props. Unamused by my solution, I shrugged and said, "What is an answer without a question?" He did not find my spiritual rhetoric helpful or amusing, and so he punched out two of my teeth. I trust your summer has been less tumultuous than mine. In more important news, my apprentice claims she saw the eyeless face in a dream the other night. I admit I was so mad with envy that at first I refused to believe her. Vale, forgive me for such a lapse of judgment. She described an aurora of brilliant blue hues with a featureless face surrounded by a swarm of eyes, no two eyes alike. She claims Vale ignored her questions and she can't recall any specifics of what was said. In fact, my apprentice seems to have forgotten many things since before the visitation. She could not tell me where she grew up or what she liked to eat. At first, I was so envious of her for having seen Vale with her own eyes. But it seems Vale's visit was to conceal, not to illuminate. I pray she endures this test of faith and can look back at the event and feel the joy of mystery. What is an answer without a question? Last week I felt the situation solution was ignorance, but after Wales' visit I feel a road without length is closer to the capturing of the riddle. Closer to capturing the riddle. I worry my apprentice will look back at her visit from Vale and feel cheated, robbed of some moment of clarity we all thought we were owed when we first joined. I tried to tell her she was lucky, but she was too young to understand. What is an answer without a question? May I be dead and my soul scattered to the winds for anything anyone knows for certain. Oh,
A seeker of mysteries. Welcome. You are among friends. Please, close the door behind you.
hello?
Mysterious well. Unlock these lands unto us.
Yep.
Keep those secrets you will, but grant us the keys to unlock them ourselves. We beg.
Right.
Hmm? Hmm? Hmm?
I missed one of his sermons, lady.
Am I the only one who can break us from that mural?
Oh, there's a chest here. Sure, the god doesn't mind. Aha! You guys have a lot of secrets around here. Secrets are actually tests.
Hmm?
Oh,
May your eyes see all. Hmm?
alright.
Note the graffiti on the wall. Don't always want to follow it.
And I would like to follow it always. There's loot in there, man. Alright. So, I mean, I read about.
The Aedyrans aren't going anywhere. You might as well get used to it. The Aedyrans aren't going anywhere. You might as well get used to it.
I agree. Guys, for the little bit of money.
One moment.
Didn't find shit, bro. Oh, what the hell? Fresh water. Oh, thank you. Paradise Hightown. I know it's Hightown. Anyway. Sansa's Emporium.
Welcome, welcome. I was hoping you would drop in.
Consulhort's Deadly Chalice. Rumor and mystery surround the Archmage Consulhort, an undead wizard of unmatched power. During a gathering of the Circle of Archmagi, Consulhort is said to have offered his peers a drink from his chalice of immortality. Arkemir instead gave the goblet to one of his imps, who died on the spot. From that day forth, Consulhort was disinvited from the Circle's annual winter feast. He resented it until his dying day. When he rose after death, he resented it still. His chalice and journals are on loan from the Archmage Tian, who said he would come back with them soon, several years ago. Consulhort's journals are nothing but vulgar rants. Readers beware. Chalice over there. Spy's tools. The tools of a valiant courtesan and spy caught hiding in paradise. Front. A small dagger made to be hidden beneath clothing. Second row left. A bundle of sage for disguising scent. Second row right. A brass plate, one under the clothing to protect from stabbing attacks. Third row. A container of powder, often blush, may also be used to carry powder-based poisons. Back left. A jewelry box used for jewelry as well as secret implements and messages. Back right. An ornate music box believed to have been a gift from the spy's target. It just looks like a plate to me. The Cartographer's Guild, Volume 2. In a turn of events that was unprecedented just a few short years ago, Ondra's mortar has subsided. The possibilities of exploration that arise from this event are staggering. We at the Cartographer's Guild look forward to what the beloved Expedition Corps discovers when they inevitably turn their attention to whatever awaits beyond the seas. In the meantime, the Corps will be busy as the Empire solidifies a foothold in the living lands. The possibility of being able to finally map this untamed wilderness, this fierce frontier, properly stirs the heart of even the youngest apprentice cartographer. As always, we stand ready to put to paper all that our illustrious nation discovers at the behest of our emperor. Long may he reign. The hell's a skeleton, bro? Skeleton of Edsel the Sightless. Edsel the Sightless was a watcher who spent his life in a remote wilderness hut. Blind from birth, Edsel navigated the world with the help of spirits lighting his path. Edsel was rumored to have walked the entire island untouched from shore to shore. He is the only hermit in the living lands known to have died from natural causes. The Emporium honors his memory by displaying him in quiet dignity. Decapitation was not the cause of death, but one of several mishaps during transport of the remains, which should serve as a reminder to secure a coffin when going around a sharp mountain pass. Fulvanio's adventuring gear. This looks like basic tools. Grappling hooks, hammers, and axes were among many of the tools carried by adventurers who braved the wild frontier of the living lands. This set was found at the bottom of a canyon, hurled in anger by the Velian explorer Fulvanio shortly before he gave up on his expedition of the living lands. It is said he set sail for the eastern reach and never returned. That's a big skeleton. Zaurab. It's a Zaurab skull and foul eggs. Judging by the dentation and size of the cephalic crest, this Zaurab died in late adolescence or early adulthood. Its partial remains were uncovered in the far west of Dawnshore, not far from the ruins of a large tribal settlement. The accompanying shells were found with the skull, but are too small to be Zaurab eggs. It is most likely that they belong to local avian life, and the Zaurab had been eating them around the time of his death. No ceremonial objects or grave goods were excavated in the area, supporting the theory that the Zaurab perished by accident. That's that's two heads, bro. Unidentified experimental reverend. In 2828 AI, a two-headed reverend shambled out of the wilderness and settled in the outskirts of Dawnshore. Many attempts were made to put down the creature, but eventually the local militia resolved against sending any more soldiers to be devoured. Hunters recovered the remains, starved after a freezing winter. It was in possession of a third head, identity unknown. A shard of Aedyr was found sticking out of the reverend's chest. The hunters also reported finding a strange collar and bell, but this artifact was never officially catalogued. Pure Mess Irvinio has disavowed any knowledge of the reverend.
Did the two heads take turns, or was this guy twice as hungry?
Animancy gear. Yeah, Animancer's Lantern, Valiant Trading Company. Animancy is the art of channeling soul essence into inventions for the betterment of society. With a careful application of copper and Aedyr, Animancers can achieve wondrous results. This natural lantern, or this naval lantern, it's not a natural lantern, come on. Is fitted with a shard of luminous Aedyr from the Deadfire Archipelago and was once mounted on the Valiant Trading Company galleon Emio di Serpente. How it washed up on the shores of the living lands is a mystery. The Aedyr is long since depleted and will never shine again. The Emporium would like to remind visitors that the use of animancy is strictly forbidden in Paradise. What the hell is the big book? Yo. Claviger Beldin's armor. This armor was worn by Claviger Beldin during the dank spore outbreak of 2748 AI, when a bloom of spores infested Dawnshore and threatened to overtake the city. Beldin rallied the militia to burn out the colony and restore order, though he fell in the final battle. The walls were later reinforced and the militia trained in the suppression of hostile fungus. While the armor has been thoroughly cleaned of spores, the Emporium kindly asks that visitors appreciate it at a safe distance. Just in case. On the provenance and ruination of Nekataka's old city. Excerpt from a lecture given before the annual convention of the Academy of Architectural Historians in Aedyr. Close examination by learned parties suggests that Nekitaka is significantly older than it might at first appear. We take as our example the suppurating wound in the city's side, which the locals most charmingly refer to as the gullet. On its face, it is not considerably different from your average slum. Indeed, it contains all that one might expect of such a place: desperate poverty, wrenching hunger, a tavern fare brimming with miscreants, and a flourishing criminal culture. Of course, it has its own unique offering as well. A towering pile of garbage dumped into the district from the most affluent neighborhoods above it. It is in every sense abominable. The Huana leadership should be ashamed. But I digress. Far more interesting than the caste stratifications among the Huana are the bones the city is built upon, for beneath the gullet lies a vast cavern littered with the remains of an ancient city. Referred to simply as the Old City by the denizens of Nekataka, this sunken metropolis is notable for two reasons. The Old City's architecture is markedly different in style, form, and apparent use from the architecture of modern Nekataka, and there is no readily available explanation for the Old City's destruction that has not already been considered and discounted by those inclined to study it. My peers here in the academy and beyond believe that the old city's destruction is clearly the fault of the region's energetic volcanism and subsequent tectonic rumblings. I would caution against grasping at such easy solutions, however. Consider the following. The Huana have lived in the region for thousands of years. Earthquakes are no more a surprise to them than are the archipelago's daily soaking rains. None in Eora match their sheer creativity and expertise in building to withstand these events. Moreover, for all their flexibility in building construction, the Huana states have proven to be remarkably stable over time, showing a clear preference for designs that mimic the rhythm and shapes of the natural world. The old city shows none of these things. Indeed, what remains was constructed primarily of stone cut in austere blocks, and the buildings are arranged in a manner not dissimilar from those prevalent in the Angwadian ruins that dot the landscape. With those 2 points in mind, does it not seem prudent to ask whether the old city is Huana in origin, and if it is not, who built it, and finally what destroyed it? Interesting questions. I think you will not find any easy answers, probably. Pottery, godless pottery, recovered from godless ruins in Scattershop, left a ceremonial urn used for transporting liquids or possibly the ashes of the dead. Center, front, back, small vessels for containing and pouring liquids for healing and recreational purposes. Right, a flat bowl, possibly used for communal means.
Wouldn't want to mix your communal meals bowl with your ashes of the dead bowl.
Godless pottery, recovered from godless ashes in Scattershop, left a flat bowl for communal meals. Center, front, urn, possibly used as a planting pot or receptacle for bodily waste. Back left, small bottle used to hold perfume and incense. Back center, pitcher, most possibly used for juices or oils. Back right, an ancient carafe, and adorned with decoration likely used in day-to-day cooking. We have a giant, ancient eagle spittoon. This artifact is believed to be a ceremonial spittoon used by the godless, the earliest known settlers of the living lands. What dark rites were committed in the shadows of those time-haunted edifices? What foul humors were expelled into the orifice of this unholy relic? What malevolent spirit rose up from its fetid mouth, vibrating with evil intent? The Emporium would like to apologize for the baroque and speculative description. This is an ordinary lamp, nothing more. We will retain the plaque in its original state as a cautionary example of what happens to scholars with more imagination than reason. So much shit here, man. Deadly fungi, why is it here? Harvested from Galloway's tusks, left. Ascension of multitudes. Beneath this fungus's rather dramatic name lies a simple fact. To touch it with bare skin is to invite crippling pain and death. Believed to have been used in ritual mass suicide in Galloway's tusks, the fungus gives off a scent similar to that of rye berries and sage in hopes of luring a victim, which collapses upon contact with the fungus and provides ongoing nourishment for its offspring. Wow, okay, that's brutal. Right front, widow's chair. Found deer, found throughout the living lands but seen most often in the caves of Galloway's tusks. Widow's tear contains a venom that is harmless if ingested but potentially deadly if used as an injected poison. Often found growing near shallow graves or exposed carcasses, it contains a foul-smelling liquid that can be used as a source of water depending on one's desperation. Right back, blue feather brush, nearly identical to the much less deadly witch's hair fungus. This blue feather brush can only be identified by the slightly earthy aroma it exudes when harvested. Mere contact with the skin is harmless, but inhaling the fungus's earthy aroma, even in small doses, can cause shortness of breath. How do you know what it is then? Tightening in the chest and difficulty in maintaining conscious thought. Okay. Those stricken by this condition often find themselves stumbling toward caves, cliffs, and small bodies of water, where they collapse and provide nourishment for the fungus in its new location. Ingestion leads to an incredible sense of euphoria, followed by a slow but inevitable death. Deadly, now we have exotic. Plucked from the fertile lands of Emerald Stair. Front, witch's hair. The strands of this strange fungus contain both spores and a light venom meant to deter predators and paralyze insects and small animals, which would then decompose into nutrition for the fungus itself. Often crushed and combined with sulfur to create witch mask, a yellow-green paste often used in small doses to remove wrinkles from under the eyes of the wealthy and vain. Back left, Martin's torch. Seen often in caves near volcanic activity, this ovoid fungus holds small spines inside its bellows-like body. When squeezed, these spikes penetrate the outer membrane and release spores, causing immense pain that could be described as burning. Delicious when properly prepared, and the spines, once carefully removed, can be used as sewing noodles or artistic implements. Back right, blood pipe. Despite the deadly sounding name, blood pipe is quite harmless unless crushed and mixed with boiling salted water. The resulting broth, while delicious, will render adult kids senseless within a few moments. The godless were believed to use this soup in controlled doses to induce hallucinations or to relax the mind, but the correct recipe for a safe mixture is yet to be discovered. Right, cool stuff. Taxidermy Sporling. A young sporling preserved, donated by the Wardens of Solace, believed to be either a worker or a very small warrior. This sporling lived decades ago in a cave in Galavain's Tusk. It would have spent its life either carrying heavy objects or brutally attacking the knees of its foes. Here it stands among the fungus of its natural
Don't get
habitat.
too excited.
Yeah,
I could show you living versions of these if we go out to Emerald Stair.
right. Legacy of the Takan. This slim volume tells the tale of the Takan, a people who lived along the banks of the Akwi River on the fertile Ixamital plains. It details their rise to prominence in the region and their eventual demise at the hands of their ancient enemies, the Quickmatil people. A significant portion of the book is given over to examining the role of the Takan's order of monks, the Nalpazza, in Takan society. The Nalpazza believed that transcendence could only be attained by overcoming one's personal vanity, the desire for pleasure and fear of death. To that end, they engaged in pointedly antisocial behavior, various forms of self-mutilation and meditation with or consumption of the recently deceased. The Nalpska were led by an Antizili or master warrior, the last of whom was a man named Zipilo. Zipilo was charged with protecting his people from the Quequematel, he failed, and other threats, but in a tragic twist of fate, Ixpelo died before he was able to pass on his sacred knowledge on to the man poised to take his place. They lost because of that. The book dwells on this failure for some time, its author apparently of the belief that it was this one error that gave the Quackmatel the opening they needed to launch their attack. The book's author goes on to describe how he attempted to instigate a, a popular uprising among his people against the Quackmatel, but his efforts were unsuccessful, as the Takan were by then too broken by the destruction of their culture to muster much of a defense. How he attempted. Oh, the volume concludes with an exhortation for the reader not to mourn the Takan's passing, but to learn what they had to teach and teach others in return. In turn, Hmm. Fibrous fungi, colorful fungi. Nasdaq poetry, a compilation.
My shop isn't here, envoy.
1 second. Nasdaq poetry, a compilation. The expedition. I move. There is no compulsion. It is not a need, but something pulls. I cannot deny its draw. The white wends out past my vision. Its fierce eyes watch me as I move. The wolf tracks my step. A silent companion who will not join. All is blank. The pale expanse lies before and behind. I search. The miles pass, and still my feet move. My hunt continues unabated. The landscape returns my gaze, unaffected by my presence. The snow falls, needles driven by the wind. Its cold teeth bite my skin. The snow gathers its hands around my feet, a fierce opponent who will not relent. All is white. My journey continues. I travel. I can no longer stop. A true compulsion forms. The need drives me on. I must see. The sun breaks through the grey. Its unrelenting gaze thaws me. My body warms under its torch. Frigid limbs move again and carry me further. All is empty. The breath of existence is my destination. And you have colorful fungi. Left, Clateria, a grassland mushroom named by the Peruvian for its resemblance to their buckwheat cakes. Though common in the early recipes of Solace Keep, it has become a delicacy due to the inhospitable terrain. Chewy when cooked imparts an unexpected meaty taste. Right, Zorab goblet found throughout the living lands, but especially in winter and early spring along forest floors. Locals report that when dried and ground, they stanch bleeding, and many explorers carry the powder to treat minor wounds. Back, whale's bud, native to the river beds of New Kulklin and the source of much controversy as its kith neighbors. Some naturalists revere it as a powerful hallucinogen, others report no effect. The researcher questions the standards of their experiments. Fibrous fungi. There's so many fungi. Left, fire crown, a hardy cave dweller from Galloway's tusk, parasitic to insects, despite its appearance, unremarkable to eat. However, the Peruvian claim it enhances stamina, and they often consume it before battles or long journeys. Enjoys considerable popularity among young warriors for this reason. Right, marrow sponge, fruits in autumn and winter beneath deciduous trees, a windfall to valiant traders who bought it to the republics and made it a culinary trend among the nobility, best enjoyed with garlic cream sauce, a full-bodied red. And a full-bodied red. Front, Mequin skirt, unique among living lands fungi for its lack of exclusivity to the terrain. Explorers from the rear would recognize it immediately, and it is known as Nanakata to travelers from the Ixamitil plains. It thrives on tree trunks throughout the region, though the matter of how it came either to the living lands or from it remains a mystery. Sansa, we have the riches of Sovereign Point and chunk of Inoti Batar and offering. The riches of Sovereign Point, jewelry, precious stones, and iron ingots recovered from the mining settlement of Sovereign Point. The fate of the original settlers remains unknown. Right. The Longhouse had a prepared feast of meat, mushrooms, and cheese, ruling out starvation as a cause of abandonment. Some believe the settlers succumbed to the madness of isolation, though others dismiss this as speculative. The riches of their mine were not originally intended for historical preservation, but no one would trade in the artifacts for fear of their curse. Right. Chunk of Inoi Batar and offerings. During the construction of Paradise's walls, builders discovered a sinkhole where a small piece of Eoni Batar had the fallen moon came to rest thousands of years ago. It was surrounded by coins and other valuables dropped by ancient settlers. What superstitious relevance they held for the moon rock remains a mystery. Hmm. Many of the early Paradise citizens voiced concerns about unearthing the treasure trove, fearful that an act of irreverence would anger dormant spirits. Nevertheless, the pieces were given a place of honor at the Emporium to commemorate the history of the settlement. No spiritual disturbance has been recorded in relation to this moon rock, though it does have an unusual affinity for spiders. Hate that. Alright, lots of talking was done. Oh, a map of Paradise. Alright, let's talk to this man. Sansa.
You're back. What have you found?
I found Jermond. He's dead, but his map of Dawnshaw looks complete.
I warned
625.
about those Zaribs. It was Zaribs, wasn't it? Oh, on second thought, don't tell me.
It was not.
Please, keep searching. I'm sure the others will turn up soon.
How about the supplies you've got for sale? Beetle's Bulwark. While below 75% maximum health, a successful parry summons a beetle to fight with you. What the hell? Lesser burn proof. 20% resistance to fire accumulation. Right now I have Wind and Wave. More move speed and is resistant to frost accumulation. Theodos gifted to a famed Routian admiral whose tactical brilliance was instrumental in starving off a coordinated assault. Okay. Fragments of the Scales quest item. This map provides information on the locations of fragments for Wudikia's god totems. Purchase it to see the information contained within. I will. The Burned Queen's totem patiently waits amidst ruins of the heathens she hates. Okay, the totem. This golden crown stolen gem can be found in the Emporium. Buy it, I guess. In dwarven halls neath mountain shroud, the strangler's justice can be found. Overlooking booths where goods are sold, this balcony leads to Order's hold. Below Death's grip, so icy and cold, await ancient oaths cast in gold. Beneath an amethyst light on high, the shining plaque draws sailors' eyes. Atop the isle of wicked outlaws flicker golden flames of a glorious cause. Fragment of the Scales, letter journal. Wudikia's inheritance, treasure map. Mighty Wudikia visited me in a dream, commanding me to hide my old gloves and retire from service to the steel garrote. A worthy soul will find them eventually. Reader, if you are that worthy soul, take my gloves and bring justice to the lawless, she demanded. I found your gloves already. I did that already, but sure. And then I'm gonna buy your Aedyr. I can't afford the bulwark. I will sell all of this crap that I have and this plate armor. I don't need of it. Now Beetle's Bulwark. I do enjoy the thought of summoning beetles when I, parry, but and what is it? It is of fine quality. While Wind and Wave is common. Move speed and frost. It's fire. It does not give move speed. It summons a beetle. You know what? I like the sound of that. Give me it. Then here's a turquoise, and here's 3 agate. Mapping the living lands. Dawnshore. Return the Dawnshore cartographer's note to Sansa. Optional. Find clues done. Totem core, broken crown jewel, golden flames. Find the treasure. Wudikia's inheritance. I think I did that already. You acquire a treasure map from Sansa's Emporium and Dawnshore. Examine the map to try to deduce where the treasure is hidden. Hide my old gloves and retire from service to the steel ground of others who will find eventually. If you are that person to break my souls, take my gloves and bring me justice. And Totem of Rightful Rulership. You found a piece of the Scales of Oathbringer, a powerful artifact in Totem of Vodekia. The remaining pieces can be found across Dawnshore. The more pieces you gather and assemble, the more powerful Totem will become.
I understand a curious spirit, but I promise that region is well mapped.
Broken Crown Jewel. Well, there it is. Reduces companion ability cooldowns by 15%. Restore god totems when placed at party camp. This crimson jewel seems to emanate unbridled malice that you can't help but feel is directed at you. Artifact observations. Notes on the trinket recovered near the eastern ruins. Sacred object, but to whom? Iconography suggests Vodekia. Very old, perhaps from first Aedyrian settlers. Did Aedyrian ships land here centuries earlier than we thought? Curious implications for historical record. Definitely incomplete though. Part of a larger relic. More fragments in the area. Warm to the touch. Enchanted. Valuable. Lots of food.
Definitely don't feel like we should be in here.
Who's gonna stop us? Okay.
One moment.
I think we have everything.
I don't think my assistants are hiding in there.
Uh-huh.
You're back. What have you found? Have
I'll be
you
on the
been
lookout.
to the bathhouse?
Oh yeah.
I'm too busy myself, but I'm told it's a taste of old Spirento.
I have been to the bathhouse, I believe. Don't know what that says, but okay, taste my blade. Hello, guard. You're one of my people. Where the band of thugs were. Don't worry, I killed them. They are dead. The street of the gods.
Oh, bless my soul, the Aedyr.
Yes, it is I. Chandler Weirden.
Isn't this a surprise? Not only to see you alive, but to have you grace my little workshop.
Oh,
Chandlers don't get many high-ranking clients.
Chandlers.
Priests and pilgrims mostly. Still, business is good. Better than good.
Why do you think business is so good? Do you run this place by yourself? Or why do you think business is so good?
Well, there was this Aethasian priest on his way to Emerald Stair. He was rather fond of my work. And the Temple of Andra can't seem to get enough of them. Burning the wick at both ends, I suppose.
Oh, candles. Where is the Temple of Andra? I'd like to pay my respects. What's an Eothian priest doing in Living Lands? Where's the Temple of Andra?
Probably a good idea. No one cheats death without owing someone a favor. Go up the main road to the Street of the Gods.
Thank you.
Eloy, the attendant, is a sweet girl, though a little anxious around newcomers.
Hello, way.
Don't keep the Lady of Lament waiting now. Unlike Aethys, patience is not one of her virtues.
What's an Eothian priest doing in the Living Lands?
A lot of them came here after the purgings in the Deerwood, looking for sanctuary in all the wrong places. Even on these shores, Aethys isn't the most popular deity. Andra is closer to our hearts, always has been.
Do you run this place by yourself?
I used to have an apprentice. When the Aedyrans came to our shore, he moved on without as much as a goodbye. But I hold no grudge. He had his reasons to go, just as I have my reasons to stay.
Huh. You respected his choice, and that's all that matters. Seems not everyone is fond of Aedyr in these parts. Sounds like he was an oath breaker fleeing justice. Yeah, you respected his choice.
You know, You're much more even-tempered than some of your countrymen. That's a compliment, dear. Some of us understand you good folk are here to help, and some of us need a little more time.
You almost sound convinced yourself.
Imagine how boring this place would be if we all agreed.
The living lands could use a little discipline, that's what I say. And who better to bring it than the Aedyrans?
It's been a pleasure. Should you need anything, find me at the embassy.
With the gods on my side, I won't need to, but I appreciate the invitation all the same. If you need to keep warm at night, help yourself to some Mogren's Fury. It's growing in a pot just over there.
I took
No
it.
charge, of course. The Aedyran envoy's money is no good here, and never will be.
Well, I don't have much, so here you have it.
May you walk a well-lit path.
You make
Beeswax
candles.
is dangerous to find in these parts, but you won't find better in all of Eora. What's your pleasure, envoy? May you walk a well-lit path.
Alright, well, I got information on the location of the place. That's good. What is this? Ornate plaque. O silent usher, companion to the pallid night, guide us from one life to the next. Watch over our souls as they take a turn around the wheel and see us safely to our next life. Statue of
This
Bareth.
is the Shrine to Bareth, god of death. Not sure which version of them this is.
Well, there is a chest here. I don't know if that's supposed to be like vengeful citizen.
Curse my brother. Oh, Stan, into his own destruction. The
Great.
Fates see to it that he is
Oh, great.
punished on the wheel.
I missed a line.
Think of you. May he be a beetle in his next life.
Okay. Well, I don't know what your brother did. Okay, so I find it hard to relate or do anything really. Okay. Aha. There is loot everywhere for those who have eyes to see it. Anyway, I'll be using a beetle's bulwark because it summons beetles for me. God damn it, that sounds cool.
The perfect place for Aedyrans to look down on the citizens of Paradise.
That is what they are doing.
Great queen that was, have your sway over this new land. May you bring righteousness and justice to these shores and these people. Grant them your justice and vision to enact such laws as may befit a great civilization, and punish those who oppose you. We seek your leadership here, O Queen, and your guidance. Envoy, we're going to do great things here.
Yes, pious attendant.
Envoy, we're going to do great things here. Envoy, we're going to do great things here.
Captain Elfir.
Street urchins would make more respectable militia than this rabble. Envoy, this city needs discipline.
Yeah, and I like your
Street
golden
urchins
armor.
would make more respectable militia than this rabble.
Murderers!
How awful.
Welcome, Envoy. You look
Imperial
well.
headquarters. Hello, soldier.
Need something? At least the weather's decent.
Decent.
They call them the living lands, but things die a lot around here.
Sure do.
At least the weather's decent.
The land is living. This looks like it's a mechanical, bro. Okay.
There's something here.
Safe journeys, envoy.
Ouchie. Yes, the candle maker person. Then we searched here.
Welcome to our shrine, Envoy.
So,
Envoy, what is it?
I don't know.
Envoy, what is it?
What is this? Vodekia. Ooh.
Boudica. She's
Boudica.
gotten a lot more popular since your people arrived.
Oh, she's the god of this idea, right? Makes sense. People wanna. No! Wow. Go. Nice ancient chest. Common scale armor, beetle shell. Okay, let's eat something. How about some cooked lashwing? That should carry us over. There you go.
Could be worse, envoy.
Can't believe the headquarters are so small. The watcher, they say, is this because it's an exit. Here to the gods. Hello.
Envoy.
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 Guard.
Nice to meet you, Envoy.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Envoy.
I will be inspecting this.
What it's like to travel with an envoy? I can get used to this.
Can indeed just walk around. God's Gate. Travel to Dawnshore and consider Lodwin, leader of the Seal Garrod Paladins. She fell in battle at the Red Fire Archipelago and returned as a death guard. Relentless and uncompromising, Lodwin strikes fear in the hearts of her enemies.
Gates open now. Hope you haven't run into any delays.
Oh, God's Gate Beacon. Yeah.
What is it? Gates open now. Hope you haven't run into any delays. What is it?
Alright, and they go straight to Hightown. Interesting. Caer Nua was a Daewoodian castle built over a deep labyrinthine ruin. So they say. Okay. Seems to be some kind of unrest happening here. Oh, the execution.
Situation all around.
Yeah.
It's a horrible situation all around.
For you.
You Aedyrans are vile! You Aedyrans are vile!
Not to worry, Envoy. Got the bastards.
Well, if he's one of the people who murdered me, and then these guys are like shouting and protecting him. The Eternian guard.
Caught this one trying to break into the embassy.
That's not good.
Persistent little rats, aren't they?
They are
We have
persistent.
orders to arrest these traitors, but where's the fun in that?
They're killing them.
Don't worry, envoy. I'll clean up the mess.
Great.
Just doing my part. The Paradisans will pay for spying on us. Some corpses don't deserve a grave.
Great.
Just doing my part.
Assassin's note. My friends and countrymen, the envoy is alive and hunting us. Our position in the city is compromised. Use the final hours of this life gathering intelligence on the Aedyrian embassy and deliver it to us. Trust no one. Pray that the gods know what they're doing. For I no longer understand their motives. Yugwolf. So, here were ya? Because this is the Street of the Gods. God's Gate. Temple of Ondra. Aha! Drink and wine and a bunch of money.
The Paradisans will pay for spying on us.
Hello?
I think I saw bandits enter the Clavager's house.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't think I care.
Great.
I could really go for another drink. Hmm? Oh.
Oh.
Need something, envoy?
Yeah.
Just another day. Need something, envoy?
So bored. Okay, we have this little hole here. Some weapons and stuff. People have been living here, obviously. They left no signs as to who they were, though. I hear something.
Got something.
Where? So it's over there. Alright, let's see if we can't find a way in there. Here we go. 3 lockpicks, an ancient chest. Gets unlocked. Alright, give me a second. Alright. Well, we got this. Plus this entire area. I don't know if I can even go there. How the hell do I get down from here? That didn't hurt. And then I think I'm done with this entire area. I'm done with the Clavager's estate. I did all of this and this and this. So I guess all that's left is to go in here. Go get some. This is the Paradisian base. No, well, that is the Paradisian base. This is just a continuation of the street. Another god.
Gallowayne, I beseech.
Gallowayne.
Turn your eyes to these lands and give our hunters your blessing.
Hunters.
Protect them from this plague as they journey out into the wilds. Grant them a steady shot and quick fingers. All to your glory.
Hey. Oh.
Please excuse me. I'm in prayer.
I do enjoy shooting things.
Please excuse me. I'm in prayer.
Galavain.
See that worn spot? Hunters pet the wolf's head for good luck.
Snout, more like it. Not really the head. That's worn out. Where is this?
Something nearby.
It is up there. Hello, buddy. That wand will be sold for profit. The upgrade materials will be used to upgrade myself. It's him just crouching over the body. I was like, what the hell did I just see? I saw something weird. So, ornate plaque in honor of Mequin Eliana IV, Queen of Aedyr and consort to the Emperor, who upholds Viridia's justice. Someone built a statue of this person. Okay. Townsfolk. Right, snoring man. Oh, you're a big guy. Turnian guard.
Please be respectful in the presence of the queen.
Right.
Envoy. Envoy.
You know that I am the envoy. Statue of the Queen of Aedyr.
That's the Elven Queen of Aedyr, I think. They wasted no time putting that up when they got here.
Yeah. How do you feel if I jumped on her head? Don't care. You like that?
Envoy.
Oh, the Queen of Aedyr does not like these pots.
Envoy.
Disrespect her. You know what would respect her?
The ruins! Why assault our ancient Pargrunan ruins?
Pargrunan ruins.
You could have just walked around that wall. Someone help! The god likes a maniac!
I'm fine.
Get away from me.
No.
Get away from me. Get away from me.
Where are you going, bud? I don't know why I did this. I could have just walked around. He's absolutely right. I felt like blowing something up. That's what I did, man.
Watch it, envoy. You might just start to relax here if you're not careful.
It's a nice place. Darkest Routian cookie. We found one. Naturally. Oh, cancel that. We don't want to blow shit up here. E, there you go.
Got something.
Got a bunch of something apparently. To find a way up here. I hate that we just pass right through like it doesn't exist.
Are you crazy? Get down.
No. I have every right to climb around wherever I want to get at these great riches here. They're not very great, but the riches. Can't believe he actually reacted to me doing that. Yep. There you go. I would find a way. Breastplate and then eat like a leg of something. There you go. Cooked lash wing. Food always seems to get me up. Alright. I really wish every single chest could be marked, you know? So I know where everything is.
Fresh from the finest distilleries in Thirdborn, the only potion known to protect against the plague.
Really. Really. Shady merchant.
Do not succumb to fear, friends. Protect yourselves against this vile plague. My remedies have been tested and tried.
Uh-huh.
A drop, dear citizens. A drop is all it takes to protect yourself against the wretched soul plague.
Yeah.
Paradise! Do not be afraid of any plague. With one, do not succumb to fear.
Good.
A drop, fresh paradise. Do not be afraid of any plague. With one drop of my miracle elixir, your soul will remain safe.
Yes. Sure it will.
If you're looking to celebrate water, I'd suggest the bathhouse.
Is this is the temple of Ondra.
Lady of Lament, grant us your strength, so we may overcome adversity as the wave overcomes the shore.
What are you? It's a bunch of stuff.
Welcome to the Temple of Ondra.
Right.
We don't have a gift bearer at this temple, but if you'd like, you can leave your burdens here.
Or I can take from your burdens.
Have you enjoyed your time here in Paradise, Aedyr? Feel free to stay as long as you would like. Ondra, guide your steps. Feel free to stay as long as you would like.
Should I not take that then? There's stuff in here.
Do not succumb to fear, friends. Protect yourselves against this vile.
Okay. Lockbox. All right. Yo, what the hell is these gears doing here, man?
Militia headquarters. Stay on their good side. You won't have to.
I'm not here for the headquarters. I'm here to search whatever the hell is over here. But right now the answer is nothing.
Something nearby.
Well, I'm on the path to that something. You have this nice upper area, you're not using it. And a chest full of valuables up here. Some binding copper. That's some legendary upgrade materials if I've ever seen them. Right? Looked like a button to me, so I thought I would press it. Militia.
Gods, these Vortican bastards are oppressive, telling me to straighten up at my post.
You are bent right now.
Why don't you all just leave us alone? Why don't you all just leave us alone?
Those steel garrote are going around crowing about justice, as if this is their city.
Start now.
Need something? Need something?
I don't mind the Aedyr squadrons in town, but those steel garrote soldiers being here give me the creeps.
Where are the steel garrote?
Huh?
I have never seen a steel garrote soldier yet. Merchant.
Adherence. I can get this cheaper on the mainland. Then go home.
When's Aedyr going to realize we do things differently here?
We overcharge people.
I swear, if those Wodokan extremists come sniffing around again...
What will you do? Huh, bud? Alright. What the hell is even this? Devoted citizen.
Andra.
Andra. Right.
Protect my husband on his journey back to Aedyr. Please. Bring him safely back to me. Keep the water safe. Or, if he should perish, bring him to these shores in his next life.
Right. Nothing else? Andra.
People here venerate Andra despite the horrible passage from the mainland. Or maybe because of it.
Yep, it's Andra. The water god.
I don't like how cozy the Clavager's gotten with the Adherents. That High Inquisitor especially bothers me.
It's her eyes that give me the spooks. Looks like they can see into my soul.
Can.
Might just. You know the Steel Garrote are solely devoted to Wodokan, right? One step out of line,
And what?
well, I don't know. Anything under the Exiled Queen's rule is bound to be harsh.
Yeah, she's harsh.
Do you mind?
Yes, I do.
Do you mind?
Greetings, Envoy. Greetings, Envoy.
He has a good sense to call me the envoy.
Every sailor knows. A gift for Andra and one for Helia too.
One moment.
Nothing here to loot, eh? Street of the Gold. What is this? Temple of Helia. So Andra, Helia, and then the headquarters. Yeah, the outer side is safe, and the Helia shouldn't have much inside.
This is where the wealthy go to be seen celebrating Helia.
They go to be seen celebrating Aedyr. That is a very negative view. The midwife's memoirs. My mother lived every note of life song. Bringing me into this world was her last verse. For this my father scorned me and abandoned me. And for this very same fact, my town's midwife and adherent of Helia raised me as her own. When I came of age, I learned that Helia visits us on the screams of women in childbirth, and when a woman dies giving life to her child, her soul is carried away and reborn as an avian attendant of Helia's court. Through the miracle of the Queen of Birds, my mother has been with me, watching over me my whole life. I wear the fetish charms of the cloud singer, the bird I dreamt my mother became. My feathery trinkets look gaudy and unbecoming, but it is a signal fire to women in need that I am a trained midwife, blessed by Hylia and living every note of life's song. The queen of birds wills us to shepherd new life into the world, and not as the other gods so often desire to end it. A follower of Magron once mocked my faith, saying I worshipped paint brushes and birds, piddling things beneath the gods. I do not resent the other gods and the brutal necessities that they must oversee, but it is not language love, the arts and creativity that which separates us from simple beasts. Helia allows us to rise above our savage feral selves. I am often amused that upon seeing our holy aviaries, visitors frequently ask, "This is nice, but where is the real temple of Helia?" Perhaps they think hallowed ground requires oppressive stoneworks and ceilings that hide the sky. They do not realize the bird queen stands not on ceremony. She makes herself manifest in the music of birds and in the beauty of the ubiquitous open sky. Helia prefers the worship of two children singing over 1,000 petitioners silently praying for victory. The Sky Mother asks so little of us and yet so much. We are charged to live every note of life's song. It surprises me how many fail to embrace this divine calling. Right. Priest's Journal. The temple of Ondra has been busy of late. No surprises there. People turn to the gods in time of hardship. And hardship is the one thing we have in abundance. Poor Elovi, she must be working long hours. I haven't seen her leave the temple in days.
Oh, Sky Mother, Queen of Birds, forgive me. I promise to never, ever, ever run afoul of you again.
What have you done?
I meant no offense.
Satan, Meteno. So it's, I mean, yeah, a prayer for the lost godlike. A godlike, the godlike. Okay, the godlike have vanished. Once a rare sight, they are yet rarer today. Let us pray for those few who remain, walking Eora in search of answers. Embrace them, forgive them, most of all, cherish them. For once they are gone, we will never see their like again. I don't mind if people cherish me. Make my job easier. Hello, Thetan.
Oh my. Merciful gods. You're the inspiration I've been looking for.
Great.
Please, allow me to memorize your sacred features. Let me burn them into my unworthy eyes and dash them upon the canvas.
Dexterity 702. Pose for him, staring off at the distance. I'm not here for your art. You can look with your unworthy eyes, but don't touch. Absolutely not, you perverted creep. Go away. Yeah, I'll pose for him, staring off into the distance.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I came on too strongly, didn't I? Oh, ruined the painting I haven't even started. Curse me for a fool. Helia blessed me with the gift of artistic expression, but that's no excuse for rudeness. Oh, please, accept my apology.
Just relax a hair. You're scaring the children.
Brood. I was going to warn you not to trip over yourself.
I can paint a grotesque beauty or a beautiful grotesquerie, and yet there is little beauty to be found in these dark times.
I'm sure you'll find some. There is beauty in the living lands. You can paint me if that will help. Which one am I? Grotesque or beautiful? You're sick. Go paint a landscape, make you feel better. You can paint me if that will help.
Alas, the subject cannot pity the artist. But you give me hope that beauty can be found, and so I will seek it out again. Farewell, my friend.
Okay.
Well, he seemed nice.
Parodies just wouldn't be parodies without people like him.
Weirdos. What the hell? Is that me?
I could never capture such beauty. You are proof the gods are capable of perfection.
Really?
Savor this life, my friend, for you are a living work of art. You are proof the gods are capable of perfection.
What about you, Meteno?
Please, I've got amends to make.
Okay.
Please, I've got amends to make.
He has got amends to make. Sure. Well, this someone? No, just a statue. Townfolk.
Those Steel Garrote soldiers worry me.
Bury everyone.
With the Claverger dead and the city in lockdown? What if the Aedyrans take over?
That'll be fun.
I hope this lockdown ends soon. I'd like to go visit my cousin's farm.
Right.
Andra, save me. These Aedyrans sure are demanding.
Right. And you're done, I'm guessing? Okay. I'm looking for militia headquarters. I believe this is it.
Hail.
Militia headquarters.
Yeah, nice place.
Don't mind Marius. The only gardens where he comes from are full of mushrooms.
I mean, can eat mushrooms.
Hail.
Hail Hydra. Hello.
Welcome to my shop, envoy.
Have you lived in Paradise long?
Have I? Yeah, I've lived here my entire life. So did my parents and their parents before them.
Why did your ancestors come here originally?
Couldn't tell you. Been so long the family's forgotten. Don't really care, honestly.
Right, what about the militia?
We keep the city safe as best we can. Happy?
Alright, great. What do you have for sale? It doesn't say much. Wayfarer's armor. Though most paladins are devoted to Boudica, can be found among the ranks of the Steel Garrote Order. There is always an exception. Oh, Uftang! He was the Order of King Wayfarer who spent his days walking alongside those traveling the roads of Aedyr, keeping them safe from beast and outlaw alike. Thanks to the tabard over his armor, Uftang was often mistaken for a paladin of the Steel Garrote, much to the shock and dismay of the people that would soon be taken in under his protection. Slowly regenerate health while below 20% maximum health and 10% move speed. Interesting. Well, I will be selling you one agate and any less good weapons that I have. The Long Touch, two-handed ranged unique weapon. 10% critical hit chance for power attacks while fine aiming. 5% damage against enemies with full health. An old hunter from Glanfad crafted this bow as a coming-of-age present for his granddaughter using wood freely given from a Delgman's tree and horn from an elder stag. It was meant to keep the young elf safe on their hunts, and for a time it did. When her grandfather passed, however, something in the woman broke. She began to set her sights on more and more dangerous prey, becoming addicted to the thrill of the hunt. Eventually, the creatures of the forest no longer provided the challenge she sought, and she began to hunt wilder and even sometimes her fellow kith. Over time, her malice and cruel intent seeped into the bow, imbuing it with a vicious lethality. Those that have wielded off the Long Touch have claimed that when scoring particularly brutal kill, they can sometimes hear faint whispers of triumph in their head. Oh, that's not nice. We have Aedyr. Aedyr is insanely expensive. I'm not buying that shit. You crazy?
Hail.
Paradisian military surplus here. Yeah, beautiful freaking game though. So, all we have left is the Temple of Andra here, and I think we are then finally done.
One moment.
Well then, we'll save game here, and I will see you in the next one.